All right, I think it's live. I believe so. I'm not certain. I think it's live. We'll wait a couple minutes though. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, mm, mm. All right, here we go. Welcome to this live lesson from Helpful Veteran, brought to you by the Carter Hughes Knowledge Institute. With Helpful Veteran, as always, we're just going to talk about some tips and reminders that could help when you're filing your VA disability claim. All right, and we're just going to read from the guidebook. All right, before you file disability claims, that's all we're doing. We're just going to read from this, just to give a few reminders. The most important one, and you'll hear this in everything that we do, essentially, are the three elements of service connection. All right, we got it right here for you. I need to figure out how to do a proper presentation eventually. But these three elements of service connection, these are the things that you need to prove in order to get that claim approved. All right, this can kind of clarify the expectations for you when you go into that office. So the first one is the in-service event. All right, keep in mind the foundational sentence that you're stating when you file a claim is that I incurred this chronic disability, right? I got this chronic disability from active service, from my time in active service. Chronic disability meaning it's something that you've been dealing with for a while and you're likely to continue dealing with. All right, that's what chronic disability means. So you got to prove that there's something that happened in service that led to that disability, right? That could be a diagnosis. Let's say you got hypertension and you got hypertension, you're diagnosed while you were in the service, you get out 15 years later, now you got to take medication and get shots, things of that nature. So now, right, instead of just having that hypertension diagnosis from the service, now you can use that diagnosis to file a claim for hypertension, right? So that's kind of the in-service event aspect of it. Number two, current medical diagnosis. Whenever you file a claim, you have to have a current medical diagnosis. If you don't, they're going to send you to the VA and their doctors, or QTC, and their doctors will try to determine a diagnosis for you, right? So what we always suggest, get a diagnosis beforehand. If that means going to the VA and getting that diagnosis, or going to your private doctor and getting that diagnosis, try to do that beforehand, right? Like if you want to file a claim, but you don't have diagnosis, I would say do an intent to file. That intent to file gives you 12 months, right, to put together the information for your claim, to keep making it, stronger and stronger, making sure you have what they're looking for, right? Again, they're looking for number one, in-service event. Number two, current medical diagnosis. And then number three is that link between the in-service event and the current medical diagnosis. All right, that with every claim that you file, that's what you're saying to the VA. I have this disability and it was caused by my military service. So that's what you have to prove, right? So that's important to go get medical records from service for whatever you went to the doctor for, so you can prove that this thing happened in service. And then after you get out of the service, you can go to the doctor again to kind of show I'm still dealing with this. All right. So those are the three elements, right? That's the first part that we're going to discuss, those three elements of service connection. When you learn how to do claims, this is what they teach you as well. Three elements of service connection. All right, next, we're going to just go over some reminders. All right, things to remember. Oh, this is an important one. The claims rep is here to help you, right? Like when I was a claims rep, you would see with different reps have different energy. Some reps are kind of like, unfortunately, gatekeepers, right? And they feel like they're withholding something and you're trying to get it from them, and it's like a personal thing, right? It can get kind of weird. But when I was a claims rep, I kind of understood that I'm here to help you, and I think one way that, as a veteran going into the office, one way that you can turn it into that is if you go in knowing what you're looking for, right? Like keep in mind they're there to help you, they're getting paid to help you. The more claims they file, that looks better on them, right? So they need that traffic. And then number two, it's not personal. It's not personal. It's all about the evidence, right? Again, those three elements, that's what it's about. Proving the three elements, proving that it happened in service, proving that you're still suffering from the disability, and then proving that there's a current medical diagnosis. All right. It's not personal. It's all about the evidence. Get clear on what evidence is needed. Again, that's learning the three elements and kind of knowing what's going to be needed in order for me to prove this claim, right? Like, let's say I'm filing for a knee claim. My right knee is bothering me. It's swelling up, right? I got to kind of adjust my gait when I walk around. And while I was in the service, I had a fall from a ladder, right? When I fell from the ladder, I got hurt enough to where I had to go to the doctor. They had to write an incident report, right? I had to be on light duty after that. So if you're filing a claim for that knee, you want to go back and get those records, right? The record of the incident, the record that you went to the doctor, and that's going to show, boom. Now, right, we have evidence something happened in service, and let's say you separated 10 years ago. Since I separated 10 years ago, I've been going to the doctor. You would have those doctor records along with the claim. If you haven't been going to the doctor, that's when a lay statement would be helpful, right? We have a video about the lay statement that we just put up. We're going to do a secondary video as well about secondary conditions, right? But that's when having that, proving that chronicity, having that current diagnosis, and providing that in-service evidence, again, that's the way to your claim. That's the way to your approval of that claim. And then lastly, learn your conditions diagnostic codes, right? Learn the diagnostic code, learn how to use the rating schedule. You don't have to remember everything. I mean, that's ridiculous, right? You just got to know how to find stuff in the rating schedule. That's the most important skill that we could kind of help you to develop. That skill of being able to find what you need in the rating schedule. It's a huge book, you know what I mean? It's a regulation, right? So it's thousands of words. Control F. That's the key, right? Get that electronic one, the ECFR that you can get on Google, and then Control F. That's the find function. You do Control F, spell out the condition that you're looking for, press enter, boom, boom, boom. You're going down the whole document. And then when you find what you're looking for, right, that tells you exactly how the VA is going to rate that claim. One that we talk about a lot is migraines, filing for migraines. Now, when you experience migraines, you're probably thinking more about the medication, right? How often I get them, but also the medication I take, maybe some kind of procedures I'm doing to try to battle with these migraines. But the way the VA rates it is by severity, right? And they rate it like, is it strong enough to where you have to lie down, right? They call them prostrating attacks, strong enough to make you have to lie down, right? If the migraine is that strong, then the VA will recognize it. Right. So you need to know that up front and make sure you put that in your statement that you're sending up to the VA. For migraine specifically, again, it's about severity and then frequency. How often are you getting these attacks that are so severe that you have to lay down? Right. But again, that rating schedule, knowing the rating schedule, understanding your diagnostic code, that gives you the key to kind of understanding what the VA is looking for. All right. Use that. Yeah, here it goes right here. Use the ECFR, right? Use that ECFR. Get the diagnostic code and let your claims rep know that you appreciate what they're doing, right? It's an advocate. They're there to help you. If you give them some good energy while you're coming in there, right? Maybe they can tap into an idea that could help you. Things are always changing with the VA as well. That's the benefit of going into an office and working with someone who has a good rapport, of course. Because they may know things that other people won't know, right? If you're not working in that space, working for the government, there may be some benefits that they know about that we may not know about, all right? That's why we always suggest understand what you're doing yourself, right? DIY, of course, have your own understanding, but go into the office and let them help you. Because in most cases, I know in Virginia, there's additional benefits that people just won't know about until you go into the office and ask, right? So again, hey, that's it. We're keeping it quick, keeping it simple as always. But those are the key things, those three elements, right? And understanding that claims rep is an advocate for you. They're there to help you, right? You may have to force them to help you. That's unfortunate, but it kind of is what. If you can find a good one, then just switch from the bad one, right? But keep that in mind. They're there to help you. As long as you go there letting them know, hey, these are the claims I want to file for. This is what I'm trying to get approved for. How can I do it? They can help you do that, right? But again, it comes down to those three elements. Number one, in-service event. Whatever claim you file, knee, back, shoulder, foot, ankle, whatever, in-service event. Where's the evidence that this happened in service? Number two, current medical diagnosis. Where is the evidence that you're still suffering from this thing? And then number three is that nexus, right? The evidence that it's a chronic disability. Chronic meaning you've been suffering from it for a long time, right? That's what chronic means. It can't be like, it was hurting me last week, but I'm good this week. You can't get a rating for that, right? Like, so you got to keep that in mind. Chronic disability, one that's going to continue to ail you, and you're going to have to get, medication, prescriptions for things of that nature. So, boom, there we go. Hey, keep it as simple. Learn the information as always. Use the website as well. Use the channel. A bunch of different before you file, how to file. Right. I just got a denial. What can I do? A bunch of different sections in there to help you out. And then the website as well, Carter Hughes Knowledge Institute/helpful veteran. You can get your VMet, you can get your records on there, right? How to get those records, how to connect to a VSO in your area. We found that a lot of people don't know how to get to those free VSOs who are paid by the state, right? You can just click the link and it'll take you right to where you can find them. Just put in your zip code and that'll show you some of those VSOs that are close to you, all right? Use all the tools at your disposal to get what you need. All right. We appreciate your service to this country, and there are a lot of benefits out there for you, for your family. So I would always suggest take advantage of it. Right. They wouldn't give it to you if you didn't earn it. So if you've earned it, take advantage. Take advantage. Huh? Again, take advantage. Have an incredible day.